Good morning. Do I got sound? Yep.
Yep, you're good.
Okay. Well, I think it's official that summer's over. They're talking in the 30s in north of our market. 40s maybe even tomorrow. That's right. So very good. Okay, so it is October 18th. We have 12 days until 13 days till Halloween. I've got my Halloween costume going right now. My dermatologist recognized some pre-cancer cells, so I get this cream I put on and it kills the cancer cells and fries them off. So Halloween's going to be pretty. Yeah, that's not good. One of my eye really hurts. So anyway, PowerPoint. We're looking for Mike. We're looking for it's already open. Hello, Maritza. Hello, Lauren. I'm a new agent at the Brandon office so far. This is the best decision I've made. I love it too. Thanks, Joan. Page 2. Quotes. We are in the middle of October, and I hope your fourth quarter is off to a great start. Is it off to a great start? I can't tell you. I mean, our pendings are fantastic. I'm going to show you stats from this year to pre-pandemic. Was one of my mastermind challenges, and it's going to blow your mind. I think it blows my mind. But I look at the hot sheet every day. Where the hell are all the sales? Jeff, did you? Jeff and Mike did a class yesterday, and let's face it, the only people who are buying now are those who have to buy or have to sell. So if you don't have to sell, why would you sell your house now? You probably refinanced in the last year or two, and you got a 3% fixed rate loan. And if you sell that house and go buy another one, you're going to pay a lot of money and have a high interest rate. And that's what people are, I was talking with some of my neighbors this morning. Where would we go? Number one, that's better than where I am now. And then I have to pay a lot of money for a house and get a double the interest rate mortgage. So let's just face it. So the class that Jeff and Mike did yesterday, if you didn't see it, is we need to now start prospecting brand recognition for yourself for when the market turns. And I went to a really cool mortgage seminar last week, and it was a mortgage guy. It was a Zoom meeting. And he was talking about how you can sell a home without reducing the price. And he did a really good example. I'll show you guys later. But the example was, it's a 375 house. If you lower the price 10 grand, the buyer saves $51 a month on their mortgage. But if you give them 10 grand to buy down their interest rate, they save $179 a month on their mortgage, right? And the good news is we have the appraisals to back up our high prices. So if we as an industry start lowering prices down, we're going to lose the appraisal ability, which isn't good. So it really is smarter to give the buyer $10,000 to prepay points or buy down the rate than it is to lower the price by 10,000 bucks. And if you're going to 30,000, even better, but there's limits to which you can write things down on, right? So that's just the stuff we're talking about in the marketplace as it adapts right now. But the one thing he said that got my attention was he sounded pretty confident when he said the interest rates are going to come down in about 6 months, right? So we're going to be at this high interest rate environment. High. 7's not high, but compared to 3, it is high. So in about 6 months, he's predicting they're going to come down because the Fed's going to say, holy shit, we really stopped things. Now we got to speed things back up. And real estate's a really important part of the economy to make things move. So he was pushing a 2-1 temporary buy down. Instead of welcome to the 80s, right? So a 2-1 temporary buy down means you buy the rate down 2 points for year 1, 1 point for year 2. And he's saying you're going to refinance it anyway when rates come back down. So take that big advantage. Saves like $350. You still got to qualify at the 6.5% rate, but you're only paying a 4.5% mortgage payment. And those are out there in the marketplace. I contacted Mike, and I'm sure Dolan Mortgage has it too. These are things we need to start talking to customers about. So all you need to do is contribute to a conversation and then respond when they reply back. Hey guys, you want to know how you can get a 4.5% rate in today's mortgage market? Call me. Because it is out there. We can do it, get a seller to make contributions.
And I talked with someone yesterday in the mortgage business and asked, can you do a rate buy down and pair it with the 2-1 rate buy down program? And they said, yes, you can get a credit to buy your rate down from say 6.5 to 6%, and then do the 2-to-1 buy down. So now your first year interest rate is 4%, your second year interest rate is 5%, and you end up at 6%. So you can partner the two together based on their qualifications.
Talked to Mike yesterday. I said, do you have programs like this? He goes, yeah. He says, the problem is all the customers you guys are sending me are either A-rated cash, they're really strong, good credit. They don't need any help. And the other ones are FHA, which you can't do those type of things with. So there's always qualifications. All right. I'm in competition with no one. I have no desire to play the game of being better than anyone. I'm simply trying to be better than the person I was yesterday. What a great message that is, right? Because we all have different aspirations and different backgrounds and different everything. If you can just improve yourself, forget it. You can't compete with Jackie. Jackie turns deals in every week, but that's what Jackie likes to do, right? And if you don't want to do that, then you don't have to do that. Joe, read number 2.
There are no traffic jams on the extra mile. Zig Ziglar. And that is so true.
You know, you're going to see, I'm going to read one of the RS Real Satisfied reviews today about the extra mile this agent went. It's impressive. And that's kind of a cool statement. Kat, why don't you read number 3?
Sure. Good morning. Difficult roads often lead to beautiful destinations. The best is yet to come. Amen. Yes, it is.
Some of the roads we're taking are difficult, aren't they? I mean, we're in a unique situation right now. At least we're aware of it, right? Because awareness gives you flexibility, flexibility gives options, options give you power. So we're aware the market is slowing big time. The only people are moving are those that have to. But what's good about our area?
It's still booming.
People are moving here. Jobs are moving here. Employers, relocations are happening here. They're all coming to Florida. And very interesting. What was the class that we took the other day? Oh, the 1031 class last week. They had the map across the country. And the 3 states that have 0 state income tax are Texas, Florida, and Tennessee. Where are 3 of the hottest markets? Texas, Florida, and Tennessee. 0% state income tax. California's what? Remember? 13%. 13% state income tax on top of your 30+% federal tax. And then all the other taxes you pay. Crazy. Number 4, Jeff, you're in my screen.
Number 4, too often the mind gives out before the body gives out. With that said, salespeople often give up before they're thrown out.
We resemble that remark, don't we? Salespeople often give up before they're thrown out. That's why we have so many, what I lovingly call zeros on our roster. They gave up before they were thrown out. And I'll show you that in a stat coming up too. Number 5, sometimes our lives have to be completely shaken up, changed, and rearranged to relocate us to a place we were meant to be. Yeah, right? There you go. All right, next slide. Okay, so my mastermind group that I'm in, which I'm flying to Phoenix on Sunday, because I got an early class on Monday with my mastermind for 6 hours. So that's 2100 club, 14 of us get together and we brainstorm and come up with strategies. And one of my challenges was to, you think you're doing well, let's go look at how, because the market was artificial for 2020, 2021, because pandemic did all kinds of weird things and just scared the shit out of people and they did irrational things. And the markets fell and the rates dropped and all this crazy stuff happened. So everybody did well in 2020 and 2021. So go back and compare ourselves to 2019 and where we are right now. So I ran a January 1 to September 30th for, actually Joy did it, for 2019 and for 2022. And the results are on the Excel or Drive. There it is. All right. So this is very interesting to me. We had 520 people before the pandemic. And then we laid off. We got rid of the ones that gave up before they were thrown out. We got rid of 100 and something people, and we're back up to 490. So we had more people pre-pandemic than we did post-pandemic, and we really should have a lot more than that because I think we're really good. We took 1,264 listings in the first 9 months of 2019 versus 923 this year. So listings are down, and that makes sense because why would you sell your house if you don't have to? Listing inventory, this one shocks me. We had 664 listings before the pandemic broke out. And remember, we were down to 90s, And now we're up to 252, which is actually 220. I had two different reports. 664. So we used to get sign calls. Because we actually got some sign calls this week too. But we're down 412 listings from the same time last and pre-pandemic. Shocking. Gross commission, this is crazy. So red is the delta. I mean, this is the delta column. So red is lower, green is higher. So we have $3 million more in closed commissions in the first 9 months of this year than last year. We have $114 million more sales volume, but our sides are down 748. We did 2,600 closings in the first 9 months of 2019 versus 1,900 closings in the first 9 months of this year. That's a little scary. Happy to have the more money, but what does that mean? It means we got lucky because prices went up, right? But units are down. So we measure our business on units. So that's a little scary thought. And that's not just us as a company, that's the market as a whole is down, but we got a lot of room. So I jokingly say the staff is on vacation compared to what we were doing in 2019. Pending contracts, look at this. We have almost double the pendings that we did pre-pandemic. And a lot of that is probably, the Harbor condos and stuff that are on the books that are going to close that we're building. A shocking thing was it last week that Park Square Homes was here? I wasn't very impressed with their presentation, by the way. They didn't seem to know what they were talking about. No, but they said sales were slow. You know why sales are slow? Because they can't deliver a freaking house in less than 18 months. And the only people that can buy a house that are buying houses now are those that have to. So if I need a house, I can't wait 18 months for it. So they're forced to go buy a resale and then maybe put a down payment on this one to get it in 18 months from now. But they got to think their sales strategy through. We all have to think our sales strategies through a little bit. If you take into account the fact that the people that are buying now are the ones that have to buy. It's hard to buy a house 18 months from now. Where are you going to live in the next 18 months? Closed commissions, 14 million in the first 9 months of 2019, 17 million. So we're up $3 million in commission. Good news, right? So it is what it is, but sides are down 465 units closed, which is actually a lot better than the sides because we had a lot of cancellations back pre-pandemic too. We had more serious buyers that were capable of buying and the interest rates are low and they had no problems qualifying. So all in all, this is what matters. 1,990 sides versus 1,525 closed sides. And we still got it unpending. So anyway, that was my homework assignment. I got to bring that to Phoenix with me on Monday morning. And that's gonna be kind of cool. Here we are. This report says 227, down from 236 last week. That's Dash versus eVegans. We've only taken 16 listings this month, which is scary for an audience the size that we are. To only have 16 listings in the first 18 days of the month. Where should our focus be? Your focus should be on the future, right? Mike said it yesterday, building your brand recognition so that when things come down, because what's going to happen is when rates fall, the market's going to go ape shit crazy again. People are going to jump back in the market and like they miss, because we've been telling them for years, buy now, lowest rates, generationally low rates. I said that this morning on my walk. We've been saying generationally low, and now we're right. So it's going to be time. So you're going to see a jump. So if you start building your brand awareness now, so Nancy, you get really involved in your farm, Jackie, you get really involved in your farm, maybe even start mailing or doing RSP mailers or all that type of stuff, and consistently take a portion of your commissions and reinvest in your business while everybody else is shaking in the boots and wondering what the hell happened. You're got a strategy to go forward and build your brand recognition. So when the market comes, like that audience, I kept thinking about that fake agent that built brand name recognition in 6 months. 8 weeks.
And in the fake agent, they created a fake agent and did the 8-week mailer into one specific farm area. And in 8 weeks, the made up fake agent became the most recognized #1 agent for market share in that neighborhood based on the door knocking survey they did. 8 weeks prior, no #1 agent in that area. Did an 8-week mailer once a week for 8 weeks.
A fake agent, not even a real agent, never sold a piece of property.
Ask questions again. Who's the #1 agent in here? The fake made up agent. Awareness.
So pick a marketplace you want to have brand name recognition and hit it now building for not instant gratification, but long-term gratification because the market's going to change and half of your competition is not going to be here. I had a meeting with our CFO last week. He says, Craig, I've been doing this for a long time. I know what's going to happen. NAR's almost, or real estate agents, almost 3 million real estate agents right now in the country, which is a lot. Only 2 million are NAR members, right? And that's probably going to drop to 700 to 900,000. So half of the agents are going to, we're seeing it already. I've had 2 or 3 inactive. There's dropping out of the business right now. And that's going to happen across the industry, right? So when the market does turn again, who's going to be standing up waiting for the business? Those of you who are known because you're doing your social media, you're commenting, you're doing all the posting, all the stuff Mike and Jeff talked about yesterday. Sales were at 39 for 433. This is getting scary for me because I need $2 million a month. And at 433 at halfway through, it's not close to $2 million. So that's a white knuckle moment. Closings, $400,000, 34 closings so far. Pending to close, we have another 140. You guys are killing me with this. 147 closings in the next 12 days. And most of them are October 29th because the 31st is Sunday. No, 31st is Monday. So the 31st is a Monday and a Halloween holiday. And that's where most of our closings are on October 31st. But 1.9 million in commissions pending. We'll take it, right? Plus 400,000 already closed, putting it at $2.4 million a month. Not bad. But 28 are past closing. That just, to me, is bad agenting. If you've got a closing scheduled for last week and it didn't close, you either cancel it and put it back on the market or you extend it to keep your buyer's rights in place. And we have 28 that have not done that yet, or at least they haven't turned it in. I just like that saying, getting back to good habits. We're going to talk about that in a minute. And could be a good October, but please stay diligent with your closing dates. All right, next we're going to bring up Paramount Title. We got Megan. She wants to get back to work. So there they are, Megan and India.
Yes,
Morning.
good morning.
Morning. What do you got for us?
I wanted
Thank
to
you
talk.
for our 1031 class last week. I thought it was very good.
You're very welcome. It was nice. I wanted to talk about when we have canceled contracts. We are going to start asking you guys like what's happening if it's a buyer finance issue, if it's a construction issue. We have to note our file for the reason of the cancellation. So if we're asking, there's a reason behind it, but just be ready for that question. If you want to be proactive and let us know, you can, but we just wanted to give you guys a heads up on that.
What's the purpose of you asking?
I think they're trying to track why files are canceling.
Good idea.
Yep.
Nice. Good. We should do that too. Well, they can do it for us. It's even better. Okay. That's all I got for today.
That was it.
Okay. Well, stay tuned. We'll get more.
All right. Have a great Tuesday.
Okay. Managers. I got my little notepad here. Look at me all official. I don't use paper anymore. Dork, yes. Did I bring up that guy? Do you have it? I have it. It's in my email. There was an article. No, a class that Angelique sent me. Visible guide. This is it. All right, you're first. So you have a good. We have 20 topics that are things that work in any market. And I picked 6 managers and asked them to talk about the first 6 on the list of 20. And then next week we'll talk about the next list. So
Sure. So
Having-
things that work in any market. I think one of the most important things is your business partner. Having a good business partner is definitely going to set you apart in any market, especially in times of uncertainty. Well, actually, let me make sure we're sharing.
good point.
In times of uncertainty, you think it's a good idea to surround yourself with people who have been through bumps, bruises, issues, and problems along the way, people who have answers, people who have direction, people who have resources to be able to find the answers for you and help support you, have the training that's going to train you for what the upcoming trends and changes are. It's really important to partner with the right people and not just have a place that you're hanging your hat. You can feel very confident knowing that the relationship that you have with Century 21 Beggins Enterprises is a true business partnership. We are fully vested in you guys as agents. What that means is we don't make a dollar until you make a dollar. So for us to be able to have the support, the training, the resources, the staff, and then have you guys as a business partner out there listening to, engaging with all of our training every single day. That's really valuable to us, and it should be really valuable to you guys as well. It gives you the ability to lean on the we and not the me. When you can lean on we in any market, we've been a Century 21 since 1992. We've been in the real estate business with the Beggins family for over 40 years. So when you lean on that we, it doesn't matter what's going on in the market or how new you are or what you've been through or what you haven't been through, because this company has been through it or been through something similar to it, or we have the resources to be able to provide the value to you to make sure that you and your consumers can get through any of those issues. So just want to make sure that you realize that having a good business partner is something that's going to help you be successful in any market. And you've got an amazing business partner behind you that supports you and has got your back through anything.
Yes. Yeah, and I'm going to show you that in a minute because Ashley went to a American Relocation Alliance meeting and Mike Mueller did a presentation. I've got a copy of it. So it's not just leaning on Beggins Enterprises, it's leaning on anywhere, and it's leaning on Century on corporate. When you go on a presentation, if you're not playing that card, you're making a mistake, right? Especially as the market gets down, people that have to sell need power. And we've got a powerhouse. We're 25% of every real estate transaction in the country.
Yeah, and then Century 21 being with the Millward Brown studies that they've done, being the most widely recognized brand in real estate and the most trusted brand in real estate voted by consumers. That's really, really powerful.
Yep. And Julie, your next topic is, you can talk about it. And
Yes,
without part one, part two doesn't matter.
exactly. I think 1 and 2 go together. Integrity, you want integrity not only for yourself, but also to know that your business partner, your broker, whoever you're working with also has integrity. As it says on the screen, do the right thing, be humble and kind. When I think of integrity and doing the right thing, I think of all of us had to go through the first class, and you had to sit through the code of ethics. And in the code of ethics, there's so much, phrases in there about the golden rule and whatsoever you should do to others, do unto them, do. And it's true. It's you are not only not what you do, but it's how you do it. And I think just the good old fashioned always be courteous every day, be respectful to all clients and agents and the other agents' clients. You're going to encounter some clients and agents that are really going to push your buttons. And you really have to check your emotions at the door every day and keep yourself courteous and polite. Always follow up in a timely manner. I think that's important as well. Keep your word. If you say you're going to call somebody back, call them back. If you say you're going to keep an appointment, then show up. All these things reflect on you and your company. And lastly, be professional with your work and the way you conduct yourself. Have professional presentations, your dress, the way that you, are with your personal life, and it reflects on your business. So all these things always you need to keep in check and keep your integrity in check.
Yep. And we have a good reputation as a company for that.
Mhm.
Mr. Diener, number
Yes,
3.
sir. Yes, sir. Good morning. I feel like I'm speaking to the choir with 110 people online, but believe in yourself and your abilities. Wow. I mean, the only thing when I was doing this last night was knowledge breeds confidence. Show up, learn your craft. When you lack knowledge, you rarely stand up for yourself or for your clients because you don't have the ability to do that. None of us have a job. We have a business. We have a business that we're working. Learn all you can about your craft to stand out above the crowd. you know, that goes for scripts, that goes for the contract, that goes for just about everything we do. And we have, with the Next Level Resource Center, if you feel yourself lacking on something, man, you can pile in and get lost in there for a couple days. So, you know, there's no way that you can't learn. And you know, just with having a huddle, I mean, you know, I've been with several different brokerages, and there's no brokerage that trains like us. Nobody. So that's all I have for today.
We're creating ninja badasses full of confidence.
Absolutely.
That's come up in a minute too. I think, Brother Jeff, what's your why? I couldn't think of anybody better to talk about that.
I was wondering why I got this little topic here. You guys all know my theory on this one, guys. This is the number one function of life, right? What are you doing this for? I mean, to Mike's post this morning, daily post, right? Our job is to help all of you live a lifestyle that puts a big ass smile on your face. That's it. It's that simple. That's what we wake up every day to do, right? And in the same time, we have our own whys, right? I know what it takes to put a big ass smile on my face. It's the journey that I'm going through to get to that. And it's the journey you guys are going through to get to that. I saw a post this morning, Tom Brady, right? Yeah, you know what? I love it. The post he put out, football is hard. We're not playing well. We're all in this together. We're going to turn it around, right? So it's boring you win all the time. It's the journey. You're going to have difficulties. You're going to have struggles. It's just get to the end. What's his why? This is his last freaking year playing, right? He wants a trophy. That's his why. He'll figure it out. Most likely we'll figure out a way to get there. And that's our job. What is our trophy? What are we figuring out how to get to, right? And it doesn't matter how you get there. It's just when your why is strong enough, it pulls you through people, situations, just locations, events, serendipitous moments, right? They're not serendipitous moments. They're what you hit on your path. But most people, if they don't have a strong enough why magnet, right, there's nothing to pull you to. And that's why most people have an uneventful life with no highlight reels, because they haven't ever pictured their trophy. So what is the trophy? It's not just money, guys. It's the lifestyle. It's the being able to do for your kids or your grandkids or your neighbors or your charity or your church or your whatever it is that lights you up, right? So that's the number one function. So if you really look deep inside right now and realize, do you have something that puts goosebumps on your arms, make your hair stand up when you see it in the morning, say, I can't wait to be that, live that way, do those things with those people and have that lifestyle, and puts a big ass smile on your face, then you need to let your manager know that like today, because without that, none of this other stuff we're talking about matters, right? It just does not. So the function here is get that why, get that trophy, make it clear, and then just start talking to people. It's that simple. You will be pulled to people and doors and opportunities that will give you that trophy. So that's the why. That's the number one issue that we all of us need to continually sharpen and get up there. So
Well, let me add to that and do it with the expectation that it's going to be down the road, right? We're in a
Yeah.
pause pattern right now. So the trophy is down there, and it needs to be strong enough to pull you through the next 6 months of confusion in the marketplace.
Right. And
It's
as we
not
talked yesterday, this is the time to totally gain mind share, right? Mind share comes before market share, by the way, right? So this is the battle for mind share. This is the battle to make people think about you in your life and in your markets and in your neighborhoods and in your farm and in your niche, whatever it is, because you will get market share. So step one, have the why. Step two, get the mind share of people, and then watch the vacuum. It'll just pull you to what you want.
Perfect. Mr. Puma, number 5. Is he on?
He's here.
Sorry, I'm driving. I can't even see the screen, so for safety reasons, I might have to pass.
Well, it says be proactive rather than reactive. Number 1, don't wait for things to happen. I thought about you for this one because he's a busy guy. You know, we come up with an idea and there's a website built the next day, right? He just doesn't screw around. And he's doing the interviews with the rocket station people for the ISAs to get the partners leads, to get the other things we're doing, the recruiting leads, boom, boom, boom. Don't
I
create
think-
a problem. Go ahead.
No, I think the point there though, and all of us have to realize that when you have a clear why, what Jeff was just hitting on, then there's no reason to not be proactive, right? If you know what you're working towards, then you should be doing everything you can possibly do to put yourself in the best position to achieve that. And sitting back and trying to react is not the answer.
Yep.
So, you got to go get it.
Second phase of this is don't create a problem before it exists. How many of you guys do that? I know, because I talked to you all. You created the friggin' problem and then you try to solve it. Why do you solve problems that you create for yourselves? This is not complicated, this whole business. Don't we, Chris? How much time do we? A, B. Just if you don't do A, then B doesn't happen.
There's a fine line between being proactive and not creating a problem while you're trying to be proactive about the potential things that could come up. So being proactive, just understanding that there can be potential downfalls, there can be potential speed bumps, and doing the things beforehand to avoid those or put yourself in the best position possible to deal with them, but not actually creating them and bringing that level of emotion to the current circumstance to create the problem.
Be
And the-
prepared. Always being prepared is part of that equation too.
And my God, if you attend the meetings that we give, do you realize we share all of the problems other people have? So you can learn from those problems and know how to address them in the future? Because you're going to have them. Because be wise enough to see the potential issues are going to be and weigh out the benefits and consequences of taking action for those things that could potentially come up. Break out my fiddle, right? And it's the next line. Pre-listing inspections. You know there's going to be some shit coming down the road. You know there's insurance challenges with ACs and roofs and electrical panels and water heaters. If you don't address that up front, you're going to get caught in the end. And you knew it was going to happen. We told you it's going to happen. And then it happens and you come crawling to, oh, this is happening. Well, I told you it was going to happen. Come on. Thomas, pre-listing inspections.
I think you just said it all, Craig. But it's all, thank you. This just ties right back into proactive, right? I can think back when selling cars, they used to have, well, they still have certified cars, and they have this checklist. It's a 60 checklist where they just check off all these things. And with that being said, they're able to put like $3,000, $4,000 on top of the car because of the certification and because of the warranty and everything else as well. So guys, if you want to have a smooth transaction, you definitely get in front of it and find out everything that's wrong with the home, get it fixed, and then also keep a copy of the inspection report on the kitchen table. So this way the buyer can go ahead and look at it. And then you know what? When people are at peace with things, it makes an easier transaction.
Yep. And they'll pay more. Very cool.
Exactly.
All right. So anyway, so this is an example of the Next Level Resource Center. So this is a class that Chris actually did last week. And Angelique, scroll down to the bottom, Chris, if you don't mind. All the way down. Oh, this is a screenshot of that PDF. And the Resource Center itself, behind that is the video recording of the class Chris did. But I thought this is really, these are things that work in every market. And we just get back to good habits, right? And the good habits are going to lead us through all these times.
That was the point of the class, because when I did this class, it was in the beginning where everything was starting to go crazy with listings and people selling their home, people offering way over. And we were falling out of some of the good habits that we should be instilling in our business. And I just wanted some reminders. And it came up again, because now that the market is shifting, we need to start reinstilling those good habits that we should have been doing all along. The people that were doing those good habits the entire time, that were putting these things into place the entire time, those are ones that were ultra successful during the real estate, where everything was just completely peaking. And you guys are the ones that are going to continue to be successful as the market shifts. Doesn't matter the market, buyer's market, seller's market, whatever it is. If you're doing these things, you're setting a really solid core and foundation for what your business is supposed to be.
And something else Mike said yesterday I thought was really cool. He's talking about the sales funnel itself. And at the top of the funnel, which is the not really urgent business, is your low sales score people. So you pick the geographic area you want to master and build mind share. And you put the low sales score people up here too. And you hit them with a different soft message. Maybe it's just a generic mailing at once a month so they think of you, because they're not really thinking about real estate. And then you do medium sales scores and your high sales scores. And the high sales scores, the funnel is getting narrow. So it's much fewer at the bottom where the produce is going to come. But those are the ones, and I was thinking about Kalani, delivered a CMA to a prospect that might have thought about selling, that she heard was selling, and he denied that he was selling. And she stayed on him again and again. And he ended up calling her 3 weeks after the initial contact saying, I am thinking about selling. And she knew he was, but she took the effort, and that was a door to door. So this is a generic mailing at the top of the funnel, and it's, I'm in your friggin' face, dude, if you're at the high sales score at the bottom of the funnel, because those are the ones you really, really, really want, right? But it's all strategy to get there. Okay. I'm really proud of you guys. We had a whole list of Easter Seals books for kids, and there's only 14 left. And there's hundreds of books on the list, and many of you have been stepped up and put your name by the one. It's really simple. You click on the link on the spreadsheet, it takes you to the Amazon page to buy the book, right? So we have 14 left to go. So let's do that. And my next one comes on Wednesday, and then I'll bring them all in.
Have it mailed directly to the office here in Apollo Beach, mail it to your office, mail it to your home, get it here. But if it makes it easier, just put the mailing address for the
I didn't
Apollo
think of
Beach
that.
office. It'll come right here to the office. We'll have them all here and we'll be able to get them delivered over.
Cool. I think it's the end of this month. Yeah, but it's really easy. Don't procrastinate. I saw you didn't want to. And then so Angelique sends a link to last week's training classes. So if you missed anything, really, I wrote my note last night. Stay engaged. We work hard to come up with these things to talk about that's relevant to keep it going. And I'm preaching to the choir, right? Angelique created an updated FSBO guide in Moxie. Oh, it won't be, she upgraded the FSBO guide. It'll be in Moxie soon. So that's good. But that's another tool to go out to progressively go after people. An ex-agent of ours in my neighborhood is a for sale by owner. That's why he's an ex-agent, by the way. Seriously, if you're a real estate agent and you go for sale by owner, does that send a message? Somebody in the audience said you're stupid. Yes, I couldn't say that better. Back to my email, if you don't mind, real quick. This is just a point to make. And I wrote it down. Did I write it down? Zillow market report. Is your Moxie going to your SOI? If not, Zillow's taking it. So, okay, this one here. So I get this actually, Jimmy, you're getting me now more than Zillow, which is even better. No, that's not the one. Huh. It's starred. Oh, there it is. So this is what Zillow sends me, right? They're treating me like their customer, and we're a Zillow Flex broker, which is a big deal, right? Because now not many brokers are in there. It's the best performing brokers that are allowed to be in the Flex program because it's a big responsibility. And when they give us a customer, they say, it's our customer. We want you to service our customer this way. And they're not even a brokerage company. They're making more money on the deal than I am, and they got no expenses in it other than their mega organization. But here's the market that I'm interested in. Typical home value, typical value a year ago, 1 year forecasted value increase. We're going to see that in Mike Mueller's presentation in a second. Zillow's predicting prices to go up 4%. What media outlet is saying that? Nobody. All the news is prices are dropping, prices are falling, prices are falling. Here's Zillow saying we're predicting prices up 4%. There's 245 homes for sale and there's 54 recently sold. That's just information, but what are they really doing? Keeping themselves top of mind in my market, right? Now, what's Jimmy doing? I get neighborhood news and I get just listed, just sold updates, right? And it says these are the new listings on the market. And I'd rather deal with Jimmy because he's a person than an algorithm, right? But my point is, if you're not doing that, somebody else is, and it's another agent or it's Zillow. But I thought it's just amazing how Zillow is just pretending that they exist, right? And then I've got, exactly, yeah, this is long-term time stuff now because we're not ready to go. Oh, random QSS, okay. All right, once again, Brand, there was one. It wasn't bad. They didn't write any comments, so I skipped over that one. And the agent that was about, they got a 4 out of 5, which wasn't bad, but it wasn't glowing. But other these are just random across the board. Jim Graff went over and above to help me with this sale. Jim is the best. His customer service is superior and accessibility was wonderful. Good, Jimbo. This is what our customers are saying about us. Julie Powell worked hard to find us the perfect house, showing dozens before we made the decision. Julie handled the price negotiation expertly and managed to get a significant price reduction in a hot real estate market. Julie guided me through the inspection and closing process and explained everything along the way. I highly recommend Julie Powell. This is your camaraderie, they're comrades. Number 3. Lisa Maurer. Lisa's knowledge about the market and property put my mind at ease. She was on top of every detail in the entire process, and all I had to do was follow her advice. Everything fell into place with her guidance and expertise. I would definitely use her again. She came up in our manager meeting yesterday. My daughter Samantha said, she is amazing at dotloop. Everything, all of her files are absolutely perfect. So I just want to comment on that too. Jesse Griffin, this one's going to take me a minute, but this is the one I was talking about earlier. If you can get a review like this, you're a rock star. There was only really one reason why we chose Jesse. We had purchased our property in 2018 through Wagner, who's a real estate company in the beaches. At the time of viewing, Jesse was present with the sellers. You know how many deals we've gotten from being present when the buyer's agent brought their buyer and they were a moron and they liked us better? Well, that was pretty brutal. At the time of purchase, Jesse was present with the sellers. He was friendly, enthusiastic, and knowledgeable. Over the years, we have heard his name mentioned with great regard, and we knew we would contact him if we ever came to sell. We are United Kingdom citizens, and the sale of the property is hugely different in the UK compared to the US. We were novices and had no idea what to do. Jesse took care of everything, explaining along the way, so we were able to understand. It made what appeared to be a very frightening process a very simple and smooth process. When we purchased the property in 2018 through another realtor, we were not afforded any information. And because we did not know what questions asked, we were left in the dark and effectively made some very poor choices. With Jesse, we finally learned about the buy-sell process, and this helped tremendously. Jesse goes outside of the box to keep everyone happy. Being from the UK, we feel, I guess they're from the UK. Being from the UK, we feel we may have imposed on Jesse slightly, but he gave us that extra special treatment and nothing seemed too much to ask of him. He made us feel important as if we were the only people he was dealing with. He also did all of this through a time delay of 5 hours. When we were sending emails late morning, it became no surprise that Jesse would respond, the time with him being around 6 a.m. Excellent doesn't quite cover it. Jesse took control, and that is exactly what was needed. It was smooth sailing all the way. We should mention at the time of the sale, we had verbally committed to renters until the end of the year. This is just another issue Jesse tackled without hesitation, giving an outcome that suited us, suited all of us. It's fair to say without Jesse, we would have been lost. We would absolutely recommend Jesse without question. Anyone thinking of selling should contact him now. We have dealt with another realtor and have no fair comments to make regarding them. I mean, you get a comment like that, and that's when Nancy said, "Thanks, Mom." We don't care about the Op City email. The Op City email just says we've broken 2 teams. I sent an email. Oh, that's my email about Op City. I sent an email to the whole team yesterday just about Op City because we're making strides and our agents are winning now. So what we did is we reset the clock with the top performers and they're maintaining. And I get an email from Op City saying you have no updates due, which is now starting to produce. So a lot of you that are on the Op City have Op City going. If you're not using it, you basically can't recover, right? You'd have to expand take leads from Jacksonville to Key West and to answer every lead to get yourself back in the algorithm's good graces. So if you want to do that, talk with Ashley. We've got ways to get into it, but you got to be Johnny on the spot. I mean, we're talking winning leads, answering, speed lead, all the things I said in that letter. Like 12 seconds is like the time it takes to win. And the little team we've got doing is doing a very well job at it. All right, Jesse, cool dude. That really was random. I didn't go through and pick those. I think you all believe me when I say that, but where am I? Oh, Meadler. So Ashley went to ARA convention, and this isn't a PowerPoint on it either. So I'm just doing a preview screen. But this is what we're going to hear. So the leadership retreat is in Phoenix, which just for fun, doesn't recognize daylight savings time. Can you imagine the mess that makes? Because there's that Indian reservation within Arizona that does recognize daylight savings time. So how does the airline know when the rest of the country is on daylight savings time that they got to change the time for Phoenix. Anyway, it's interesting. So anyway, so Mike says, Mike's the president of Century 21. Home prices remain high. National average now at $389,000. That's a lot, especially with a 7% interest rate. 7.7% increase from 1 year ago. So this is facts, not media facts. 126 consecutive months of year-over-year increases in prices. What is that? It's over. No, 12 months. Yeah, it's 10 years. Holy shit. 10 years, prices have been going up year over year. This is not normal, just so you know. Interest rates are on the rise. Historical low in November at 2.77. 30 years now at 6.7. That was in September. Nearly doubled over the last year. That's the thing. It's not that rates are high. It's that they've doubled over last year. So it's really, really important that when you ask your customers, are you pre-qualified? Yes. When? Because you were pre-qualified in March, you're not qualified today for the same price level of house. Nearly doubled. Original 22 average projections, year end 4.3%, right along with Zillow, which is interesting. Listing inventory issues. Inventory is at 1.28 million as of August. Unsold inventory is at a 3.2 month supply, up from a 2.6 month supply. And 81% of homes sold in August were on the market less than a month. 81% less than a month. We're not seeing that right now. Supply chain issues are real. Material bottlenecks, rising costs, and labor shortages. Big time. That's why it's 18 months to get a home from Park Square, who's a production home builder, for God's sakes. Housing starts increased 12.2% in August. We needed that. Year-to-date single family starts are down and multifamilies up. Why? Because you can't build a single family home under $400,000 now, and the price buyers can buy. All new home buyers can only afford townhouses now. So the builders have shifted everything to multifamily. I'd be interested to know what D.R. Horton's doing. Not D.R. Yeah, D.R. Horton. That's for the single family. What about the townhouses across the street? They're in the threes. But I wonder what's selling more. 900? Yeah. No, but I'm wondering about D.R. Horton. Do you think they're selling more townhouses or single family?
In
Oh,
South Sarasota, it's single family they're selling more of. They do have townhouses, but they're far and few between compared to single.
Because you're all frou-frou up there in Sarasota. Annual inflation rate at 8.3% in August, the lowest in 4 months. Rising cost of raw materials drive up the cost of living. The good news, history shows us we're going to be just fine. That's a good message from the president. 41% choose real estate as the best investment up. Where would you put your money right now? I mean, every day I get Bitcoin's down 5%. Cardona's down 5%. Really? Wow. Say it again. Treasury, direct, an I bond, and it's 9% for 5 years. Wow. 41. Yeah, great story. Still be safe. So real estate's a safe bet. This is where we were from 2015 on. Look at unemployment started at 5 and came down. Now it's at 3.7%. I've said this 1,000 times before, but I listen to the radio and when I'm in the shower, and that's where I get my news, right? And everybody's advertising for workers. Amazon's advertising for workers. I mean, every major corporation is advertising for workers. They can't get any. And they're bidding up wages a lot. Look at that mortgage rates. 3.85, 3.65, 3.99, 4.54, 3.94, 3.11, 6.7. Change, crazy. Consumer confidence. Look how high it is. I didn't expect that. That was a surprise. HAI, Home Affordability Index, way down, 102. Existing home price started at 213. Now it's 389. That's the 33% increase. Existing home median price did that. Month supply of homes, 8 months, 2015, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2022 projections. Realtor.com said, we think 22 is going to go up 6.9%. NAR said 6.5%, and actual today is 19.9% is where home prices have gone up. I'm sorry, existing home sales. Crazy. And then home prices, we thought we were up 3%, 6%, actually 7.7%, bucking all normal trends. So there's no normalcy here. Existing home sales by region, where are we? South. Where's the most of the sale? Almost 50% of the existing home sales in the country are in the South. And Florida is that long peninsula that comes all the way down. Pretty cool. The Northeast sales are down 472,000 units. The Midwest are down 172,000 units. And the West is down 140,000 units. And where are they all going? To the South, which is up 785,000 units. Imagine being a broker in Chicago. Where are people buying homes nationwide? Utah, Fort Myers, Boise. Boise baffles me. Vegas, Lakeland, Winter Haven, Jacksonville, Phoenix, Palm Bay. So 1, 2, 3, 4 of the top 10 places are in Florida. And those graphs are weird because everyone's got a different opinion, but some say Tampa's the loudest. We can skip all this. It's a roller coaster. It really is, right? And we don't know. There's no predicting it. But we're part of Century 21. We got 23 consecutive years, 4 seals of recognition, 1 relentless brand. We're a leader in brand awareness, most recognized name in real estate, most respected in the industry, and leader in future consideration among customers. That's the lean on we, not me, right? We're the fastest growing franchise by Entrepreneur Magazine. That's not of real estate franchises. That's of McDonald's and everything. And then the number 10 top global franchise in the world. And there's our footprint where we have offices. It was funny. I was walking the dog the other day and this guy came out and he was at a friend of mine's house and I didn't know who he was. And he goes, "Hello, I'm from South Africa." We had we have an office there. Most people can't say that. International impacts in the United States, $54 billion represents 2% of the existing home sales dollars in the US. So we got, and I didn't have it on this machine, but every week when I do the leads, I download the leads for the last 7 days. And that's all the sources. You see Century One's always on top, but it's Century One Espanol is hitting hard. We're getting a lot of the Espanol leads. And then we get a lot of the global. So there are global interests coming through. Now, what was shocking, I don't have the Excel spreadsheet to show you, but the majority of our century21.com leads are not going to you because you're not answering them. They're going to Ojo. And there was a large number. I showed the managers yesterday. Total initiations, 2022 pre-COVID levels. Okay. Oh, that was relocation initiations. That's like people moving for work reasons. Go back up real quick if you would. So in 2019, this is where the bar was for relocation. And then COVID stopped all that a lot. In 22, we actually came above 2019 placements. So that's just showing. And where are they moving? South. Cardis first half of 2022 initiations up about 40% versus the prior year. Cardis first half 22, a lot more international. Yep. And this is the end of the presentation. So I thought interesting to share. And that's the news we're going to get when we go to Phoenix. And then Top Agent is right after leadership. Are you going to Top Agent? No, we have a lot of agents going to Top Agent. Next slide. All right, so leads are up 3, 86. We're gonna be on time. Relocation 30, 22, 22. It's just showing you things are still coming through, but you got to answer, you know, and stuff. Play the game. That's it. Next slide is the birthdays, I think. Yes, so this week we have Nick DeBacker from South Tampa. We have Tiffany Cutini. I haven't seen her in a while. Heidi Seddon's birthday is tomorrow, along with Peter Powell and Chris Everett. Chris Everett was a favorite tennis player. And then on the 20th, we have FR Siddiqui. And on the 22nd, we have Amy Camasso and James Martin. And then Brian D, he's not in the room, on the 23rd. I think he's going to Ireland too, isn't he? Today. That's it. Oh, nice. Let's talk about you earlier. You heard? Any news from everyone else for the greater good of the company today? We're good. Happy Tuesday.